Weather is glorious today, so I'm taking the longboard in. My R2 remote is currently being upgraded still by Evolve. It's actually taken them quite a long time. I might follow that up with an email. This is the first time in a very long time that I've used this remote. It's definitely a lot harder to vlog with because it's nowhere near as ambidextrous. My fucking god, look at my eyes. Holy shit. I think I'm not gonna, I genuinely think I'm not gonna be able to do a longboard, not because it's too hot or anything like that, just because of fucking hay fever, man. Ah! Otherwise, I've not had hay fever this bad in a very long time. But otherwise, the longboarding was great fun. Loved it. So much fun. Until I got to wherever I was going. If I got to work, poor. Eyes just poor. Got home, same thing. Ah, such a bitch. I'm gonna get up tonight as well. And it's one of them things where the only time I'm safe is when I'm asleep, really. Shopping nights are stocked up on drugs and stuff, and crack cocaine. It's probably one of the best things for me. Otherwise, mostly productive day today. We had a productive morning. Can't really remember what I did this morning. And then a productive day at work as well, so that's good too. Stop scratching your eyes. Fuck my life. I've literally burnt through an entire box of tissues today. I woke up this morning with absolute time for that. Newsflash, time jump, just like horrendously burny eyes. I woke up at 2 and stayed up, and what I was trying to do was trying to get Mongo projections to work with base classes, and it just fucking won't. It's pissing me off. So I spent about 2 hours doing that, and then about an hour playing Hearthstone. So I was just like, when your eyes are burning like that, what they really want to do is close. But obviously when you sleep as late as I do, if you close your eyes, you generally get to sleep quite quickly. So I didn't want to do that. But anyway, yeah, I spent it's too long trying to get these projections working. And it just won't bind to a base class. It's just fucking me off. I'm like, I think I can figure this out. You know when you just niggly, you're there. I'm almost there. I think I'm almost there. And then it's just endless. It's just I don't know, it's just giving you enough to tease you into thinking it's possible, but it's actually not. Anyway, not using the builders anyway. You could. Oh, wait, shut up, Jamie. Words. That was really bad. I then woke up this morning, just horrendous, really puffy, horrible hay fever. My eyes burning like acid, and I almost didn't go into work. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to go to the doctors and see if they can get any kind of stronger tablets. But I've just got, yesterday I was at shopping and bought some more hay fever tablets, and they're actually not bad. They're Benadryl ones. To be fair, I haven't had for a long time. But the other ones I had, I bought loads of them last year, and maybe just the tablets I've been taking, they just aren't, maybe they die after a certain amount of time or whatever, they're just dead. And I'm just basically not taking anything. Because I'm ODing on them. I'm having 3 a day. I'm not doing shit. That one, while it's running off a little bit now, and I was bunged up a little bit today, which is always the problem. Take a hay fever tablet, it bungs you up. Words. That one is actually not all that bad. I longboarded in today to go to work because we were going to a event after work, a programming meetup thing. It's been ages since they've hosted one, but it was about website performance in a JavaScript age. But it was the presenter was a bit weird. It wasn't particularly informative. It's always hit and miss with those kind of talk things. But the next one looks fucking dope because it's about Blazor. I'm so excited for that already. Otherwise, what is going on? Then came back here, obviously. Chill with Laura. It was quite an interesting day at work today because we had a good old catch up with my manager, which was good fun. Generally good as well. Some good outcomes. And I really like having the opportunity, because when I went with this thing with Dibsy from work, we used to talk all the time because he sat next to me, but he now sits 1, 2, 3, and he's there. He's on a different team from me. We're rammed with work, so we've just got headphones on, churning out work all the time. And it's nice to be able to talk about stuff that isn't work. But yeah, so it's good times. But I need to go to bed because I didn't have my evening nap because I'm obviously going to this thing. I tried to have a double nap at lunch, but I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. I'm at the point now where I'm waking up kind of without alarms, which is a good thing, except when you suddenly break out that pattern. But over the next week, 2 weeks, my sleeping pattern is going to be tested quite aggressively, and we're just going to try and hang on. I'll try and hang on in there and don't drop it. So, even if I think it's not going to be immensely productive because I'm either tired or Hayfever's just been a bitch. So, because there's no point taking a Hayfever tablet at 2 o'clock in the morning, it's going to wear out when I actually need it at work, you know? It's monumentally more difficult to do this kind of like waking up in 2 and staying up and working. You have like really sore eyes. Like the problem with Hayfever effectively is it makes you feel like you're really tired because my eyes just want to close. And that is so nice. And I'm not tired, but obviously if I close my eyes for a certain amount of time, I'll fall asleep. But my eyes are like burning. Well, they're not burning, they're sore or itchy, whatever. I'm trying not to itch them because it makes it worse. That makes it more difficult to like do what I want to do, you know, for semi-obvious reasons. But I've just finished adding in the API call to get all of the things that we've just stored. Something I'm not sure about is, in GraphQL, how would you stop someone? You know how if you do like paging, for example, you can get a summary of something, get everything, you can get a summary of all of the things you want, but if you want the details, you've got to ask a specific endpoint, and then we go and do like a more database-intensive database call. But in theory, someone could just GraphQL and just go, yeah, alright, I want... But you could do that with REST, I guess. You could just smash... They could make one request and make my GraphQL server do 50 full calls, and I guess there's nothing you can do about that, actually, because there's nothing you can do about it in REST either. You just give them the option. In theory, they don't want all that information, so you hope they don't ask for it, essentially. But yeah, in theory, in REST, what you do is you make an endpoint that does paging or whatever, and you hope they use it. There's nothing stopping them just polling everything. Just GraphQL makes it easier to poll everything. It'll be a relatively quiet day today. I actually did quite a lot of programming last night. I was quite impressed with myself. I got over my fucking projection problem, and I've added in the get MPI, my REST API set up, and I was hooking up my graph one, and I can't get it to like sit. It knows the types there because like IntelliSense is kicking in, but like when you query it, it just fails, and I couldn't figure out why. And it was like one of them problems that you hit about 10 minutes before you have to go back to bed. And then I ended up setting 15 minutes on it, and I'm like, shit, let's go get sleep now. So I've annoyingly like left that niggling at my head, like, why wouldn't it work? It seems like I cannot figure a logical reason why it wouldn't work. Today should be a head down kind of boring day in theory, I'm hoping. Might have to do like manage some deployments or whatever, but otherwise, a tiny little bit of automation, manage some deployments, but then otherwise just like plumb through the thing that I'm doing, which is like heavy back-end stuff, doing some shit to fix a bug, which is like hideous. Imagine an e-commerce site where it sells like individual items and bundles, but when you buy the bundle, you have to pass all the individual items that are in the bundle to the API along with the bundle ID. What the fuck, fam? Obviously, what is stored in a bundle up until now has been it's stored in a completely different area of the website. It's not on your account section, it's not in your shopping cart, it's on like bundles. So I've got to pull it from a completely different domain. It's a bit of a pig, but it's something to do, isn't it? YOLO. What I've been making the mistake of doing with this bug fix is like trying to rearrange the code without breaking it too much. And I'm like trying to like leave things in so that like the tests don't break and all this. And I've got like big comments where I'm like, this bit needs to be removed, like things that aren't necessary in certain places can be stripped out in favour of other things. And I'm trying to do it like carefully so that I don't have to just start it again. But it's so hard to do that I basically should have just started again and just thrown a fucking grenade in there and blown the bastard open and then done it. It's like trying to rearrange a rib cage without, like, you have to put supports in to make it fine, then you take one rib out, then you like take another rib out, swap them, when really it's much easier just to fucking knock all of the ribs out and just go bam, 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 done, you know? That was good fun. Otherwise, I fixed my GraphQL problem. It was a dumb error. I knew it was going to be a dumb error. And that's now sorted, so now what I need to do is add on the GraphQL call to the front end, so that the front end is making a request. Figure out how that's going to be displayed on the main dashboard, and I need to save an extra little bit of information on my form that saves it in general. So I need to just push that back through the back end. I'm going to see if I can do that all tonight. I had a little bit of running today because Laura's a nebble, so I'm going to see if I can get that running and implemented overnight tonight. and then that way we should be able to roll much quicker tomorrow. Not necessarily roll, but basically like get to the point where this user story is out of the way. There's one. I've got to figure out how to display this thing on the dashboard. At the moment, like I effectively just have a form and a button. It's great, but I don't want to fettle over it too much because it's not really that important what it looks like, as long as it works effectively. But then, as soon as I've got it displaying, I then need to be able to delete it. So I want to add a new field on and delete it, and then I can merge this user story and start on the next story. Try to keep the pace, boy. My arm's been really like hurting today, and I thought it was because of my like shirt, and it was just like tight on it. But like, what is this arm? This arm's fine. Why is it this arm? It's like really like achy, like muscle achy, like almost like I've pulled it or something. Also my left arm, so if it's a half tack, most likely that one. I fiddled with it a little bit, so I didn't get it all done last night, but I got the, so you could pass in a nickname on the front end and the back end would accept it, but a little bit in the middle didn't know about it, so the API gateway needs to know about it. But otherwise, I got it sorted. It's one of them things where I don't really care what it looks like, but what I do care about is that it like behaves in the correct way. Like, I couldn't give a shit if like the tabbings are out, or if the like spacing around this thing doesn't work. But what I do care about is that it is semi-responsive to mobiles or small screens. Again, I'm not going to make a fully fledged mobile version, and that it functions so that no matter what, it opens up the right stuff where it's supposed to open it and all of that garbage. But yeah, otherwise though, GraphQL is an absolute beauty. I absolutely fucking love it. It's so good. Really glad that's the route I went down and didn't just stick with REST. Well, at the moment actually I have GraphQL talking to REST. Well, I might just put REST on GraphQL on all the backend servers as well. See if I can like hook it directly into Mongo. That'd be great. And said that, that's not entirely true because I would always want to do writes by REST. I think GraphQL like excels at reading data. I think writing data, because effectively, like, I think it would work if you own the data, if that makes sense. But if like I'm offering this data to someone else and they're querying, like I want to be able to control what other people put into my database. So I put an API over the top of it, let you call that. If I put graph over it and let you do mutations, do whatever the fuck you want, I don't know how you could possibly protect against malicious data or things like that, or like invalid data or invalid states. Yes, you'd have to do effectively like take what they've got, apply it to what they've currently got stored, run validation against that, and then report back errors. But then you're validating errors against something that you haven't input sometimes, you know what I mean? Like what's wrong, what they've given or what I've got, don't know. My day of head down, sort out some stuff didn't work at all. We had refinement in the morning, and then I was helping people do stuff in the afternoon. Oh, which is a good fun. Also, they've come to me for wanting an estimate on like a big chunk of work that we were going to do, and it's like going to be mine to do. And I'm going to try and give them an estimate, but I don't get to, like, I feel like I'm going to say a number that they're not going to like. But it's true because I actually spend so much of my time not actually doing programming because I'm helping everyone else. But yes, that's a fun stress that's going on. Deadlines are looming though, so. But I reckon end of July they can have it, what they want. And other things at the same time, but you know, YOLO. Otherwise, what's going on with other stuff? We are working on, we came back home actually. I was cooking chili tonight for Laura, came back after me, I was cooking chili. And like, we bought some mince from Sainsbury's on Monday. And we noticed, it was just in the fridge, we noticed it started to go like a bit brown and grey. Obviously it's red normally. It started to go a bit brown and grey, so I was like, that's weird. Whack it in the freezer. Took it out of the freezer today, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, that looks off. That looks bad, that. And it's one of the things where you're like, what colour is mince? Is it red? Is it brown? I don't know. Googled it and it's like, if it started to go brown, it's probably not worth risking it. It's probably starting to go off. And it said, but if it's gone off, you'll know. I put a knife in the top to open it, and I've never smelt anything so fucking bad in my life. It's literally just sat in the fridge, like in a packet, sat in the fridge, and then we froze it. still in date. Weird. But it absolutely reeks. And I just like started heating up a pan of oil and all that kind of stuff, so I had to put it on the side, take the longboard, just blitz up, buy some more mints. But my god, man. My god. I'm gonna lie to you, I haven't got a Scooby-Doo what day it is, how long this video is, whether or not I've cut it between now and the last time I ended a video. It's so painful, like, being so far behind, because there's no reason for me to take the footage off this camera and edit it, because I've not even uploaded, or I haven't even done the ones that are off the last file drive, you know what I mean? I just need to like catch up. Maybe this is like a bumper video, I don't know. If I can catch up in one big like massive 2-week-long video. Otherwise though, I had a productive evening last night. I was working away. I've like redesigned, well not redesigned, I was going to do a certain design for my site and I've like changed my mind. I was going to put in like a dashboard for the thing that I've just added, but it doesn't really make sense because the thing I've added is literally just to facilitate the thing below it, so it'd be a dashboard that basically links you to the thing below it. So I'm basically just sharing it on the main dashboard, you know. I don't need that many dashboards. I knew there was a good reason why I didn't end my vlog when I was telling you yesterday about how I didn't know how long the vlogs were, lol. Come to Wales for the weekend. We left last night, Friday night, at silly o'clock. Oh no, we left at 7, got here at about just after 11, so it's a fucking long drive. But we did stop for dinner on the way on the motorway. So before you comment, I brought all of my shaving stuff, but not my razor. So, excuse the beard. But yeah, we've just been like pottering around and mooching, basically. We're staying, well not with Laura's parents, but Laura's parents are here as well, which is why the vlog is basically non-existent. Which I can only apologise for, but I've just got to put some meter on the car, which is a good chance to talk to you in it. I'll tell you for free what is awkward. Doing my sleeping pattern in a flat that's like, it's nice and the stairway looks, but it's not roomy enough for me to be awake and working, so I'm just like sat on the floor in our bedroom working away. God, like a little hermit literally in a pitch black room. I'm gonna have to end this video at some point, aren't I? We are back in Bristol. We had a very, very brief trip to Wales. We headed off like Friday night, bombed in. It took us about 3.5 hours drive with a half-hour stop for KFC. Can't remember the last time I had KFC. I think it was in Egypt once, when the food on holiday was so vile that we went to KFC and McDonald's instead. But it was like pretty cheap. I'm not sure where. It was alright, you know. Let's try it. And so it took us about 4 hours in total. But on the way back it took us 2.5. That's pretty good. It must have been like a lot of traffic. And when we thought about it, like Google was actually navigating us off the motorway a lot and like taking us around and then looping ahead of the motorway and all that kind of shit. So it took us way longer to get there than it did to get back, which is good. But we got there late on Friday night. I spent most of the day just like in the place we were at, which is just like this quiet, sleepy village in Wales. And then today we went to a beach somewhere else in Wales. I think I'm definitely more of a Cornwall fan, but I still like the sea. I like being able to hear the waves quite like crash against the side, you know. Makes it really easy to have a nap in the middle of the day. You just open the window, listen to the waves. Sleep. Though, ladies and gentlemen, what else did we do? We didn't really do a lot of things, did we? The hardest thing was like keeping up with the sleeping pattern. So I kept it up mostly. I changed it a little bit, so I had like sleep at night, obviously, my 3 hours, and then wake up, do my work, stay up a little bit later, and then go back to bed and have like another 3 hours, and then have a nap in the evening. So I'm essentially having like 2 big sleeps, and then a nap in the evening instead of like a nap in the afternoon or whatever. But today I had to have a nap early because we were driving back earlier. It's been a bit strange. But it is definitely a bizarre thing, just sat like in literally a dark room where Laura's asleep, just on my laptop working away. But I got a lot of work done, so maybe that's a good thing. I had a stormer of a week again, meaning that this week I've done a total of 27 hours on my project, which is pretty fucking impressive. 30 last week, but I was also here all the time last week, so that's not bad to say we basically had a weekend off. I'm happy with that. But yeah, otherwise though, it's going well. It's going well. I've had some minor issues with styling and stuff. And I don't know whether I said this out loud to you, but it's interesting to see where my 2 computers compete on different things. So my laptop on some things is faster because it's got a chunkier, it's got like a faster drive and it's got faster processor and all that shit, but has less RAM. And the tank that is my desktop, when it's like switching between loading three completely different Visual Studio solutions in Service Fabric and debugging through them all, it properly chugs. My laptop does compared to Atlas. I thought that was relatively interesting. Otherwise, this is my 4-day beard. It's gross. I don't like it. Anything else to report? I don't really think so. Next week is also going to be a bit of a funny week because on Thursday we're going back to Wales for a late night. But I think I'm far enough into my sleeping pattern now for it to be relatively normal. So I'm alright with that shit, basically. But it's bedtime, ladies and gentlemen. Gonna work tomorrow. Living the dream. But a 3-day week, so definitely living the dream. I'm going to make sure that I've got to empty all the footage off this camera, so I need to start making videos again. But I think I'm almost run out of the videos that because I like do them in batches at the moment. Well, because I'm so far behind, I can do them in batches, and I've run out of the batch that I previously had, so I need to start rendering more. But like I said, I think this video could, in theory, be a massive one of like loads of days, and just take it to like 30-minute mark or 40-minute mark. Who knows? Or I'll end up splitting it. I don't know. I don't think anything interesting has happened, to be honest with you. But yeah, do I have anything interesting else to say? I need to chase Evolve at some point because I haven't got my remote back from them, which is a bit annoying. Well, thank you very much for watching this video, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed it somewhat. I'm feeling pretty good about like how productive I'm being and how much work I'm getting done and all that shit. So I swear I had something else to tell you, which is why I'm like kind of stalling while I try and think about it. But I'm going to end the video. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I will catch you later.